guys, we made it back. I'm gonna let Liam sit in the truck here because, I mean, it's not cold out. It's pretty decently warm in my opinion. It's like 34 degrees, so no coat for me today. So basically, if you didn't see yesterday's video where we left off, I got all 4 of the fronts done. We need to replace the equalizers. And I left this tire off because I couldn't get it. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna hook up now. I'm gonna get this tire back on first, but we're gonna hook up and then drive it down the hill. And this hill's so awkward because you guys see like the angle of it. So once you hit like a certain spot down here, it actually brings both back tires off the ground. I don't know if I'm gonna try, see, we know what you guys think, because I found the equalizers on Amazon. They're like 188 bucks, comes with wet bolts, comes with everything, the brackets, the whole 9 yards. Or Lippert, which I've been told is absolute garbage of a company. They have the equalizers themselves, but they're 400 bucks, so they're double the price. So what do you guys think I should do? Or should I find a place that sources them locally? What do I need to do? So we'll get it all taken care of. I was informed, yeah, the inside, there is supposed to be a little bump stop, like a little upside down triangle that like sits on the springs. This is the only one that has it. And I was also recommended, I saw your comment about putting a bolt in there and welding it so that there's a support on that. So that I will do when I get the new equalizers. I'll weld all them, throw a bolt in there so it has some support, because those are like that because there's no support on that. So these axles, it looks like would be sitting, like the angle would be different. This one's sitting like this, and then that one's sitting up. So it's actually pulling these two. I would assume it pulls them closer together when it's not supposed to be like that. So it's supposed to be a 33.5 inch spread. We'll get that taken care of. And depending on how much I really want to get into it today, I want to get a fuel shut off on this. And I need to fix these cables and then retape these. So I want to get this line all taped back up, and we'll at some point get a bracket somewhere up here. Woke up this morning, I charged my GoPro overnight, completely fully charged, and then I go to turn it on and it's at 5%. So these batteries are kind of shot. Shitty GoPro batteries, I gotta order more of them. But if you guys look down in the links below, I have if you're gonna use a GoPro, it's called Suptig, is the company that makes it. I guess it's something Chinese, but it's a battery pack that plugs into it. And that's the only reason it's keeping this thing alive, because if it wasn't for that, I would not be able to use the GoPro right now. It says 3%, and usually at 3%, I mean, even like 20%, these things shut off. I'll show you what it looks like in the camera. You guys see it? This guy right here. So go get yourself one of them if you have a GoPro. It makes it a little bit more awkward, but it also cancels out a lot of the noise on the GoPro. Like if you try to like move the GoPro around, sometimes you'll hear that, like you guys can hear that. If you move the GoPro on a selfie stick, it always makes that random clicking noise. So if you throw that in between, it seems like it hasn't been doing it as bad or at all. What do you guys think? But yeah, Amazon affiliate links below. Let's get this tire on real quick. Always do your tug test when you back up like we just did. I don't feel like messing with air today, so it's empty. Not a big deal. I'm gonna get it pulled up a little bit so I can get that middle tire on, and then we'll pull it the rest of the way up. All right, can't find the lug nut, so I took one off of this one, put it on that one, because this one's gonna come off. I'm gonna see if I can't find it somewhere in this mess. Could be probably somewhere under the trailer. I'm gonna get this thing pulled up a little bit, like I was saying, and get it to go down the hill. So should be no problem. All right, wasn't as accurate as I thought. I think it was the front wheels that actually ended up coming off the ground. So I got them, ratchet strap, pull the axle up, same with that side. That's why you need a jack. I'm waiting to get some pay coming in here soon, because pretty much with that week off and spending that insane amount of money, I tell you guys, I keep about 5,000 in both accounts. Okay, that's, people say, hey, you should have a backup. Yes, I tell everybody 10 grand is the magic number, but obviously something out of my control. Trailer, spending the money on that, accidentally ordering the wrong parts, still waiting on the reimbursement from that. I didn't ask for any money last week for running. I'm waiting until this week. I should get paid again as normal. And then the white truck selling, so I'll be able to put the account back up to the $10,000 mark by the end of the week. But until then, I think I have like 250 bucks. So, and that's because basically any money that I have, you guys saw that the market was down. The reason I only keep like 10 grand is the market was down and now is a good time to buy. So any extra money that I could toss into that has been tossed into that. Now it's growing and making money because we have a decent bear market this week. Everything's in the green and it's been awesome to see that. I wish it would stay red for a little longer so I could throw some more money into it, but that's basically the gist of it. Just waiting on some reimbursements and getting paid for a couple things, get the white truck out of here so I can refurbish or get the account back to where it was. Because once all that money comes out, I got another $3,000 payment coming to get caught up on something, so I got to do that. So between all that, we will get the equalizers. Everything will be replaced and everything. I want to know your guys' opinions on this bracket here. Is this normal looking to you guys? Because I'm trying to do anything with the trailer, because this thing's pretty cheap. Anything with the trailer, I'm trying to make sure that it is done correctly. So if you guys see anything out of the ordinary, let me know. I don't know if that looks okay. To me, I don't like that. I don't know. I understand that I'm like picking it up and it's kind of like in the air, but let me know what you guys think and let me know if that looks right, and if not, let me know what parts to order, and certainly when money comes in I will get those parts ordered. So yeah, I spent quite a shitload of thousands of dollars on the market this week. So, and even when the market goes back up, I'm still not going to pull out, because that's just not me. That's all long-term investments and shit. We'll see what we find underneath. So as I was saying, that to me definitely does not look normal. I feel like there is supposed to be a bushing in that one as well, but I don't want to cut these brackets off. So if I could, like, let me know what you guys think. If there's a piece that goes into that, let me know, because I ordered, I'm assuming that they have like that weird bump stop in there like the rest of them do. So if I can get that taken care of as well, that would be awesome. I understand it's not going to go anywhere because obviously it's bolted up here, but I don't know. We'll see. This is how this is supposed to look, by the way. But now that this axle over here, that spring is supposed to be down even further. I guess right now it's helping me, because if that was down further, it would be pushing this down, which would make it harder for me to get this axle up in the air. So good thing it's broken, not a good thing it's broken. We'll get that taken care of. There isn't any slop in this one, so I'm not worried about it right now. I'm not going to take that out. I'm just going to do the two bushings back here for now. So these I do know that these bronze bushings I will stick with. And then, holy hell, damn, Kaufman can't even finish out their welds on these trailers. That looks pretty terrible. You can see where they kind of like added everything together and then threw this like structural part in here. I don't know. How do you guys feel about Kaufman trailers? Because I know after this one, I am going to start looking for another trailer. Or if I don't start looking for another trailer, I'm going to start paying other debts off faster. Like I was paying $250 a week for this. I may start doing that with some other things first. So should be paid off in about 9 weeks. Well, I can already see some BS in there. So before I let this axle down, I'm gonna get the other wheel and tire off. It's gonna be fun getting the wheel back on, but whatever. I'll get the other one off real quick, and then we'll just drop the whole axle down, throw some new bushings in it, throw the new bolts in it, and be done with it. I understand a bunch of guys mentioned about those other bolts. They may not be like the correct ones, but they definitely work. I will let you guys know how they hold up, and I will keep the factory bolts on me to let you know if we have any issues. I'll put a factory bolt back in it. I'm telling you, it just don't look right to me. Common sense is telling me some things. Doesn't look right. All right, so little life hack to get it on a hill, use 2 ratchet straps. It's so much easier when you use 2, but it can damage your straps, so just be mindful of that. But there's not really much I could have done. So this one's on the air. We're gonna get that one torqued up. Everything's done. This bearing was way out of spec, so retorque that down, let it back off. Now there's no play in it, no lug nuts on it either, so we'll get that other one back on, and then we can start screwing with the ramps. Let you know how those Amazon clamps come in. I was hoping they were a lot bigger than what I ordered, but they came out really small, so gotta love Amazon. All right, everything's back on. I can't seem to find the other lug nut, so what I'm gonna do now, we'll get the winch loosened up, and then I'll put that snatch block on my bridle. So grab that pretty quick. Got the radio out here today because why not? So need to get this all cut back and then redone. I do, because tomorrow we should start looking for loads tonight, which I feel like Global's gonna call me and be like, hey, we need a load picked up. And these guys have been calling me non-stop since I started with this new company, so guess we'll start doing work for them. All right, you guys let me know how you would do it. I'm thinking about just getting rid of the bridle in general because of that. I won't get rid of it, but like I'm thinking about like moving it and just keeping it somewhere separate. Maybe making a rack for it. Maybe a chain rack at some point for this trailer, because before I buy another trailer, I want to get this one perfect. So that's what I'm thinking. Obviously, get these things cut off. This actually shouldn't be all that bad to cut off. Just cut the welds around that. and just pull the bolts through the opposite side. I'll have to cut the welds on the inside as well. And then to counteract the fact that I did that, when I go to mount them, just fill it with weld and fix whatever I cut. So it shouldn't be too bad to just move these. All right, here's what we got going on here. So I'm gonna get these cut down until we find clean wire. See how nicely that falls apart. This cable has actually been really good, which is why I'm salvaging it. This was a set of jumper cables. I think I paid like 50, 75, somewhere in between there on Amazon, and I've been using them for years and they've been awesome. They work way better than regular cables. So we'll get this all cleaned up, figure out which side is the good side. Whichever side, yeah, it's this side at the top. So this side has the piece in there, so we'll get that all put back down and we'll go from there. There, we got them back together, actually fairly nicely. So we'll spray some PB Blaster on these bad boys. These things doubled as a way to cut the wires straight, which was nice. This is for, you know, a regular hose, but whatever. Trying to find the limit. See how many of those rings I can put it through. I like where it's at now, but I don't know if it's going to be long enough. Oh, look at that nice front valve cover. Huh. Let's see. I doubt this will be long enough. Oh, perfect. Whatever. So it will reach. Cool, that's where I'm gonna leave it. That's where we'll leave it. So that is a lot cleaner. I ran it all the way up here. I'm gonna redo these eventually, but for now, I'm gonna leave that out in the open. Once one fails, I'm gonna redo exactly what I did up front, which everything I did, I had to take back off anyway, other than these. I was able to get these nice, look at that, not this one, look at that nice crimp. So I got that. Now I just gotta screw these connectors back on, and that's done. I'm working on things I didn't even know I was gonna do. I've been wanting to do something like this forever. I'm also gonna try to take this cord here and I'm gonna wrap this up because this thing is way too long. Like if you were gonna run your connector back here, sure, but my connector's right there, so I don't like how long that is. These are perfect. I'm gonna do some re-welding on these because since I guess the guys at Fleet Pride really can't weld to save their lives. Like, look at that. So that's also the problem with trailer manufacturers. Half these welders, none of these guys can weld for shit. I hate to be able to, I hate to be the guy to say this, but judging by these welds, and I'm a guy who, I used to do structural welding, but like coming from someone who basically all I did was MIG weld, I can tell you now that I can weld way better than any of these idiots. And I'm gonna say that very boldly, because if I'm gonna pay you thousands of dollars, hundreds, thousands, it doesn't matter. Either way, if I'm gonna pay you to do a job, you're gonna do it right, and if you're not, I guess I'll just put them on blast. Look at that shit. Fleet Pride in Carlisle, like, shit's garbage. And they sent that out the door, you know? It's just disappointing. I like the idea of how they did it, like running the, like this was perfect, but that weld is just awful. I'm gonna have to go over that someday. So lesson learned, if you're gonna pay somebody to work on your stuff, nobody cares about your stuff like you do. In my case, I've gone through and fixed pretty much everything on this truck that is rigged. Like the thing is just, it just works now, other than fuel shutoff and battery terminals. I'm gonna keep mentioning that. Fuel shutoff and battery terminals are the only thing on this truck that you could technically consider rigged anymore. We got a brand new drive shaft, the rear end's been replaced, everything has been done on this thing. We do need to do some body work. You can see, you know, little spots here. We'll get that once the weather warms up and everything. So besides that though, I mean, the thing looks pretty, and you know, I'm not gonna fix this guy here. Like that's my battle scar. And get our Chevy mirrors, get that Chevy or Ford, I don't know which one they are, but they found them, they're like 300 bucks. I'm gonna order a set of them once the money comes back in. 6-inch stack coming. We're gonna have some fuel cleavers for this truck. Bold assumption, I'm gonna have fuel cleavers this year for this truck, and there will be 33-inch tires on 20x12s up front, and some thick meats in the back. Like I'm talking like what I used to have. Like those sons of bitches used to stick out pretty far. So, and the reason I'm going to do that is because when we get the 5500, which will happen, if you guys watch my older videos, I said I was going to get a 5500 at some point. So just because the 3500's gone, it really, I've talked to a lot of people about that white 3500, and for what I want to do, the GVWR is still too low. They still only come with a 11.5 GVWR, so that kind of sucks. The I think it was 08 and 09, the 5500s come with like an 18,700 pound GVWR, which is plenty high, and I get to keep a 3rd gen, and I get a really high GVWR. That's why I'm doing that. 444 gearing, I get, you know, it could be better running the 3500. I want the 5500 because they're still rated so low. Like you can't get a 3rd gen with a 14K GVWR. You just can't, unless you get a 55 or 4500. And if I'm gonna get a 4500, I might as well get a 5500. That's kind of my logic there. Has to be icing, has to be black, short frame, wheelbase like this. So this will be a pretty truck at some point, and obviously still used for work, but it'll be like kind of half work, half pretty-ish. So as these investments start paying off, I'll start throwing more money at the truck. These things cleaned up, get that all thrown back on. I think that's the last thing I have to do. Time off really gives you things to look at and do. So like I may tackle this thing next, and that'll be the last thing I got to do until we pull these off. And I also need to get, like, I paid Fleet Pride to like take this and like mount it correctly, and they couldn't even do that. I told them put it on the inside. So what do? They took this and they left this alone, and they put this on the outside. I said put it on the inside. So I don't understand what the confusion was, but we'll at some point get this off of here. I'm gonna go through, like, weld, or you know, grind that guy off up there, and just all around it'll all come together. I still gotta cut this bad boy off right here. That'll take me some time, but we'll get the weight down as much as possible. See, I did have someone mention as well, the 5500 may be too much for this trailer. Like, the 5500 is way more than I need specifically for this trailer, but this isn't the last trailer I'm going to be owning as well. Like, I do plan on getting wedge trailers, or at least one 4-car wedge. I do plan on getting one at least tandem dually flatbed, if not triple axle flatbed. Just a bunch of things. I do like the triple axles. I get they're a little bit more maintenance. I do like the triple axle. You get the extra brakes. That's huge for that extra set of brakes. So especially when you're pulling something with this thing, like this is only a 2500, and a lot of times the truck ends up coming out at 11.5 and the trailer comes out at, like, I think it was 14.5. So the trailer's always underweight, the truck's always overweight. Like this thing weighs 9,000 to 9,500 pounds by itself. So DOT will give you issues about that. I've never had an issue with it, but they can give you an issue for it. All right, we got, it's not the prettiest thing in the world. As a temporary, I got all the line like taped or zip tied up here. So we'll do that temporarily. And now I just got to find a way to hang this stuff here. So get that in a second. There you go. That's just temporary. I just needed to find a spot to put it that it'd actually be safe. So hang that there. I'll work on the next thing. All right, so they're kind of small, but this is pretty much what it is. Drill 2 holes in the bottom, 2 holes on the top. They give you screws. I don't know. I'm just gonna send it, and if, you know, they're not big enough and we have to upgrade, I'll get some bigger ones. I kind of was going for what Diamond C was doing, and they have those clips that go down, but they have some pretty beefy ones. These are pretty light duty. So we'll see. I'm gonna get the holes drilled and we'll go from there. All right. Oh yeah?
Yeah, you were. Now you're a little bit away from me.
Oh. Oh well, I gotta find that other lug nut before we go out. We're really into it a little bit. It'll be all right. Oh man, all right, so pretty much means all the bushings have been replaced. Wheel bearings gone over. We have equalizers need to be ordered. Wires need to be ordered. And I didn't do these because, you know what, I am done for the day. I feel like I've been here long enough. I think I left around like noon, 1-ish. It's probably 5, I don't know. Work a couple hours on a Sunday. But it is super nice to know, look at the wiring, you'd never know. And then you look at it and you're like, oh, it goes up there, okay. So now I just need to make a hanger for this. Pretty much what I think I'll do is the same principle where you like wrap it around, probably like a hook somewhere, then wrap it around itself on the inside. So we'll see, but let's get this thing dropped and go from there. I'm not messing with the air today. I don't feel like it. I'll just grab this quick and throw this down. There we go. I don't know why I did that. Oh man, all right, Liam, go throw this chalk in front of any of the wheels, preferably the middle wheel. Throw that in front of the middle wheel. He'll do that real quick, and then we can take off. Judging by the fact that the rear end's going up, I'd say we're pretty good. All right, pull out. We out? We free? All right, cool. All right, so we'll get out of here. Throw the tailgate up. Liam, don't touch that. Don't put the tailgate up. You'll rip the tailgate off. So here she is. This thing has never looked, well, it has looked better than it has now. Back when I bought it, about 2-3 weeks after I bought it, I put a whole new front end on it. You know, it had the 20x12s. We got rid of the leveling kit, so it looks better back then. But this is what happens when you use a truck for work. So I think it looks pretty good right now. Super happy with the way everything's turning out. It's just a little bit of work, but again, I haven't really done all that much maintenance on this trailer since I bought it, other than the bearings and the brakes and the lighting. So besides those couple of things, I haven't really done much. So that's why, you know what, it sucks, but I think I've gotten about 7-8 months out of this thing, almost maintenance free. It's time to just do it. We're done with it. So hope you guys enjoyed. That's gonna do it for this video. As always, go check out the affiliate links down below. Go buy some stuff. I get a kickback of everything you guys buy. There's stuff for trailers, stuff for the trucks. You got headlights, cab lights, stuff like that that you guys can't find that I use. We got the TPMS on there, tire pressure monitoring sensors. Go buy those because those are really good and I like them. I don't know how they are on a trailer, but they are really good on the truck. Besides that, if you want to get paid to store your crypto weekly, go check out Celsius.network. Use my code down below. You get $50 free Bitcoin if you use my code, and another $50 free Bitcoin if you use code HODL50 after a month of your first $400 deposit. So hope you guys enjoyed. See you in the next one. Peace out.